Imagine living life without the burden of others' opinions, free as a bird in the sky. Our perception molds our reality, yet we often let the thoughts of what others may think of us shape our self-image and choices. The power to shape your life lies in your hands, not in the whispers of others. Society has a funny way of setting up rules, doesn't it? Imagine a world where we all followed a set of invisible laws, not written in any constitution, yet as binding as any legal statute. These are the societal expectations that we often feel the pressure to meet. They are like invisible chains, binding our actions and thoughts, dictating how we live, what we do, and even who we become. Often, these societal expectations are so deeply ingrained that we don't even realize we're adhering to them. They dictate the careers we choose, the people we marry, the clothes we wear, and the dreams we dare to dream. We're weighed down by the need to fit into a specific mold, to meet a standard that, more often than not, is not even our own. These chains can be heavy indeed. They can limit our potential, stifle our creativity, and suppress our true selves. We seek approval, validation, acceptance, and love, often at the expense of our own happiness and fulfillment. We become prisoners of these societal norms, trapped in a cycle of conformity that leaves little room for individuality and personal growth. But what if we could break free? What if we could shed these chains and live life on our own terms? What if we dared to defy societal expectations and embraced our unique paths? Breaking these chains is not an easy task. It requires courage, resilience, and a strong sense of self. It demands that we question the norms, challenge the status quo, and dare to be different. But the freedom it brings is unparalleled. The freedom to be ourselves, to express our true selves, to live a life that is authentically ours. So let's question, let's challenge, let's dare. Let's break free from the chains of societal expectations and embrace the freedom that comes with authenticity and self-approval. As the saying goes, the only way to deal with an unfree world is to become so absolutely free that your very existence is an act of rebellion. Breaking these chains is not easy, but the freedom it brings is worth the struggle. The Bible says in Galatians 1:10, "For am I now seeking the approval of man or of God?" This timeless question echoes loudly in our modern society, where the pursuit of likes, shares, and retweets often overshadows the pursuit of self-growth and spiritual fulfillment. The Bible, in its infinite wisdom, encourages us to shift our focus. It nudges us away from the fleeting validation of others and towards the eternal approval of the divine. It teaches us the liberating truth that our worth is not determined by societal standards, nor by the ever-changing opinions of others. It is instead rooted in the unchanging love and acceptance of our Creator. Thus, by seeking God's approval, we invite into our lives a sense of self-assuredness, spiritual growth, and inner peace that no amount of human validation can provide. So ask yourself, whose approval are you really seeking? Ever heard of the saying, "I am my own worst critic"? This phrase rings true for many of us. We often hold ourselves to such high standards that we forget to show ourselves the same kindness and understanding we readily extend to others. This, dear friends, is where our journey to self-approval begins. Imagine you're on a sailboat navigating the vast ocean of life. The winds of criticism and judgment, whether from others or from yourself, can easily steer you off course. You may find yourself adrift, lost in a sea of self-doubt and insecurity. But remember, you are the captain of your ship. You hold the power to chart your own course, guided not by the winds of external opinion, but by the compass of self-approval. Now let me share a little story. Once upon a time, there was a young woman named Grace. Grace was an extraordinary artist, her paintings brimming with life and color. However, she was so concerned with what others thought of her work that she often found herself paralyzed, unable to put brush to canvas. It was only when she decided to paint for herself, to create art that brought her joy and satisfaction, that she truly began to thrive. Her paintings became more vibrant, more authentic, and in pleasing herself, she found that others were drawn to her work as well. This journey toward self-approval, much like Grace's, is not an overnight voyage. It requires patience, understanding, and most importantly, self-love. It's about recognizing your worth and embracing your individuality. It's about celebrating your victories, no matter how small, and learning from your missteps instead of chastising yourself for them. So how do we embark on this journey? Well, it starts with a single step, a step towards self-love and acceptance. It's about telling yourself, I am enough, just as I am. It's about silencing the inner critic and amplifying the voice of self-love. It's about understanding that your worth is not dependent on the approval of others, but on your own self-acceptance. Remember, the journey to self-approval begins with a single step, a step towards loving yourself. So, how exactly do we stop caring about what others think? Well, let's dive into it. It's not about turning a blind eye to the world or becoming a hermit. It's about creating a healthy balance and adopting a few practical strategies. First up, let's talk about setting personal boundaries. These are like invisible lines that you draw around yourself to protect your mental, emotional, and physical well-being. They're not about shutting people out, but rather, they're about letting them in on your terms. It's like saying, hey, I value your opinion, but I won't let it dictate my life. Now, setting boundaries can be as simple as saying no when you need to, or as complex as restructuring relationships. But remember, it's your life, your rules. It's like playing a game of chess. You don't let your opponent dictate your moves, do you? Next, we have the cornerstone of personal growth, self-improvement. This is all about focusing on what you can control, yourself. Instead of fretting about what others might think of your outfit, your career choice, or your love for pineapple on pizza, channel that energy into becoming a better version of yourself. Imagine yourself as a garden. You have the power to decide what you want to plant and nurture. You can choose to grow roses, or you can choose to grow thorns. The choice is yours. But remember, a garden full of roses is much more appealing than one full of thorns. Another strategy is practicing mindfulness. This might sound like some fancy schmancy new age term, but it's actually quite simple. It's about being present in the moment, aware of your thoughts and feelings without judgment. It's about acknowledging the chatter of the world, but choosing not to participate in it. Imagine you're at a party and there's a loud, boisterous group in one corner. You can hear their conversation, but you choose not to join in. You choose to enjoy your own company, to savor your drink, to appreciate the music. That's mindfulness. And here's a pro tip. Practice gratitude. It's a powerful tool that can help you shift your focus from what you lack to what you have. Instead of worrying about not being good enough for others, be thankful for your strengths, your achievements, your uniqueness. It's like switching the TV channel from a depressing news report to a heartwarming movie. Finally, remember to be patient with yourself. Change doesn't happen overnight. It's like baking a cake. You can't just throw all the ingredients into a bowl and expect a perfect dessert in seconds. It takes time, patience, and a bit of trial and error. Now, I want to share a little personal story with you. Once upon a time, I was a people pleaser. I was always worried about what others would think of me. I would bend over backward to fit into their boxes, to meet their expectations. But one day, I realized I was living their life, not mine. So I decided to try a change. I set boundaries, I focused on self-improvement, I practiced mindfulness, and let me tell you, it was the best decision I ever made, and a hard one, but I became happier, more confident, more me. So there it is. Setting personal boundaries, focusing on self-improvement, practicing mindfulness. These are some practical steps to stop caring about what others think. Remember, it's not about ignoring the world, but about creating a healthy balance. It's about living your life, not someone else's. Incorporating these strategies into your daily routine can help you regain control of your life. So go ahead, give it a shot. After all, it's your life. Make it count. Imagine a life where you are the artist, and the canvas is yours to paint as you please. A life where the symphony of your existence is composed solely by your own hands. A life where every stroke of your brush, every note on your score is chosen by you, and you alone. This is the power of freedom. It's not simply about being able to do as you wish. No, it's far more profound than that. It's about breaking free from the shackles of societal expectations, about releasing the chains of external validation, about learning to dance to the rhythm of your own drum. When you stop caring about the opinions of others, something miraculous happens. A weight lifts off your shoulders. The world becomes a playground full of opportunities to explore, to learn, to grow. It's like being given a blank canvas, a fresh start, an opportunity to paint your own masterpiece without any preconceived notions or constraints. But the power of freedom is not just about liberation. it's also about growth. When you free yourself from the fear of judgment, you open yourself up to a world of possibilities. You become more confident, more self-assured, more willing to take risks and step outside your comfort zone. You become the master of your own destiny, the captain of your own ship. And let's not forget about happiness. True happiness comes from within, from being true to ourselves, from living life on our own terms. When we stop caring about what others think, we can focus on what really matters, our passions, our dreams, our goals. We can live authentically, boldly, passionately. So take a moment to ponder this. Imagine the freedom that comes from not caring about other people's opinions. Picture the confidence, the growth, the sheer joy that comes from being your own person. Imagine the liberation, the exhilaration, even the power. Embrace the power of freedom, for it is the key to living a fulfilling life. Now, don't get me wrong, not all opinions are to be discarded. There's this thing called constructive criticism. It's like a compass in the vast ocean of personal development. It guides you, points out your blind spots. But remember, the key word here is constructive. It's not about mindlessly accepting every critique. It's about discerning useful feedback from mere opinions. Learning to utilize this tool can truly propel you on your journey to self-improvement. Constructive criticism is a tool for growth. Use it wisely. So, if this resonates with you, give this video a thumbs up, click that subscribe button, and let's keep the conversation going in the comments. Share your journey, your victories. Remember, the only opinion that truly matters is your own. As we close, remember this quote by Eleanor Roosevelt: "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." Let these words echo in your mind, empowering you to rise above the opinions of others. Thank you for watching, and remember, you are more powerful than you think. Until next time.